Hi, I'm Jack White from Savory Jacks. We're not cooking today. We're going to do a little garden tour. I've got my friend Jane here, and she's responsible for all this, so we're going to turn it over to her.
Hi, I'm Jane Markham. I'm owner of and chef of CulinaryHunterGatherer.com. And Jack, being a great friend, we've put in a super garden for his kitchen here, and so it's backdoor farm to table. Let me introduce you to some plants. What we decided to do with the steps like this is create essentially a square foot garden. So as the plants are very close together and they're running in rows, you could do this at home with a true square foot table or anything like that. We have here 12 varieties of heirloom tomatoes, starting with, on the end, I believe we have the black crims and purple Cherokees, and I believe the black zebras. And when planting an heirloom garden, you really do want to focus on the fact on darker tomatoes going to lighter tomatoes so you don't get cross-pollination and a negative color effect. And as you see, there'll be very large tomatoes, and then we move to our smaller cherry tomatoes, which we'll talk about later. Just below that, we have sorrel, which is all of these are perennial plants at this end. This is great for soups and salads. It's got a very citrusy, lemony flavor. You can see it's going to seed, but unlike many plants that have a bulging stem, this one will not die back. And it is a great plant to have in the garden because you can come out in January when it's freezing and there's snow on the ground and pick some sorrel. Up above that, you see the parsley, and then just below the parsley, borage. Borage is a fantastic plant. The flowers are a gorgeous blue star type shape. It's great for pollination, as you can see. So it really draws in your butterflies and your bees and things like that. And the leaves are used for, often in Eastern Bloc countries, in soups and stews. And the flowers make an excellent garnish or beautiful in drinks and different cocktails. As we move down, you'll see this area is planted with mostly lemon or orange, various citrus thymes, which everyone loves to use that in the kitchen. They can be great in vinegars, use the actual leaves, cooking with them, or you can use them as a garnish or anything like that. They also make an excellent syrup that can be used in teas and different cocktails, especially with some of your brown liquors like bourbon, so popular today. Here we've got some bolting. This was cilantro, but as you see, they've let it go to flower, and you can still use it as cilantro, but if you let it continue on like this, pretty soon, once it's dry, you'll have what's known as coriander, and it becomes the dried flower buds of this, and they'll make a nice round little spice that you can grind yourself. In front of that is a type of arugula and roquette with the yellow flowers on it. It's also bulging, but this is probably one of the better arugulas to grow in the heat-centric state that we're in, because you still will get some bushy shrub, and you can keep trimming all of its legs off, and you can have it a little bit longer in the garden than many. I know probably some of your viewers have bought arugula at the grocery store, and in 2 weeks it bolts and you're done, and it's somewhat disappointing. This varietal will last a little bit longer. In front of that, we have salad Burnet. As it says, salad. It's great in salads. It's got a slightly citrus flavor, but also very peppery, and can be used both cooked or raw. But it's excellent in greens and salads, also in different sauces. Later, when you have your tomatoes, it makes a great herb to add to your tomato sauces or your fresh tomatoes. As we move down through the garden, we've got some different types of sage, and behind that, the kind of prickly plant is actually in the artichoke family. It's called cardoon. It will get about 7 feet tall and will have an enormous thistle-like seed head in your fall garden. Birds love it, bees, again, a great pollination plant. It tastes like artichoke, and you'll see it in both Central, South American, and Caribbean cuisines. There's a varietal of that also in some of your Mediterranean cuisines as well. To cook it, you use the leaves and you strip the rib out, and you cook it down as you would like a heavy green, like a coarse kale or something, and it tastes very artichoke-like, and it can be ground also into a pureed type of soup. As we continue down, in front of us is not, this is not a perennial as the others are. This is different types of kale, a Russian style and a more traditional non-curly leaf flat leaf kale, which can be harvested. And these will probably finish up in the garden for July. And as we continue on, we have a few varietals of eggplant here, mostly in the Asian type. These are all heirloom, and there's also the Italian Biancas in this. This entire garden is heirloom, so you can collect the seeds and it can perpetuate itself for the next year. Behind, as you go up, these are used as a pollination plant, and also it's an excellent, you've got the anise with the purple flowers. All of these are edible. Some people, you'll see herbalists use them in medicinal herbs and teas and things and tinctures like that. But these plants, and the wormwood is an excellent plant to boil down and use then to block out, to spray or try and keep aphids and different worms and things from your plants. As we continue on, just below that lemon basil plant that you see up high, right next to the purple, that's red Genovese, just below it with the purple flowers with that butterfly flying on it at the moment is a type of hyssop. It's an anisette flavors, used in teas, used in cooking, especially seen a lot in game cooking where you want that kind of licoricey flavor. It's excellent in desserts and things like that. And an interesting thing is it's also a wonderful pest repellent for yourself or your garden. Now we're getting into pepperland here. These peppers are sweeter peppers. There's a type of paprika, a couple of those, and we have some Anaheims, which are Numex Anaheims. And these are great for stuffing, for salads, for cooking, and things like that. Also drying for a very floral type of paprika. The greener ones that you see in the center plant are actually a type of paprika that we're familiar with, that most people get at the grocery store. They'll get dark red, and you dry them or smoke them. This is a little bit, the pale yellow one will get orange, and it's a fleshier plant, but it creates a much sweeter paprika that you most often see in some Indian cuisines and some Italian cuisines and Mediterranean cuisines. As we continue down, there's basil on the second step, just various different types because they all have different flavor profiles, and also they're different look to them if you're going to cook with them or use them as a garnish or shaving over a salad or something such as that. We have here fennel in the front, and the bronze fennel is considered an ornamental. It will not bulb up and create that, but all parts of the fennel plant are edible, so using the leaf structure is a delicious way to garnish soups, salads, and also it's a great garnish for meats and things like that. The common fennel will grow some level of bulb, and that's the type you consider like you might shave in a salad and things like that. As we move further down the garden, we're getting into the hot peppers. And these are what you consider with the higher content of capsaicin in them. And they pretty much range from the back, we have Tabasco peppers that are the actual capsaicin frutescens that Tabasco is made out of. We also have, again, different types of basil, African basil and some Thai basils at this end. It brings in a lot of different pollinators, and it also, which helps kind of keep them in your garden so that you get a larger production of the actual fruit from the trees and shrubs. Then we have some jalapenos and serrano peppers, and here on the front we have your Scotch bonnet, better known in America as habaneros. This is the Caribbean heirloom version of the Scotch bonnet, and on the Scoville sale we're getting very high in the capsaicin and the heat structure of that plant. On the very end of our garden here we have lemongrass. These will grow to about 3 to 5 feet, and then later in the year you'll take the cut stems from the base to use in different Asian, Malaysian, and Thai cuisines. And that's actually for soup, salads, and infusions and different broths and things like that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our quick and simple garden tour here, and we'd like to remind you to save the date, October 1st. It's for the Nashville Herb Society. It's a benefit. I'll be there. Jane will be there.
We have a great wine vintner and winemaker, Chris Bratcher of Bratcher Vineyards, that will be there as well. And Jack is going to make some magnificent cuisine to pair up for our lunches.
And in the meantime, wait on our garden to grow and wait for specials at Savory Jack's, fresh from the garden. See ya.